And welcome back to Birth by Sleep. I don't remember what we did last time. It's been a while. It's been like 2 weeks.
Well, actually, I do remember is that we were, I believe, we just escorted Cinderella.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Terra had his moments like 3 times. So,
shout out to the music. I just realized it's Bippity Boppity Boo.
Yeah, shout outs to anyone who chose this track as the world theme, because you get really tired of hearing it very quickly. Make it stop.
Let me ask you this, was that, because I'm guessing that, like, when you went to bed after recording, like, mainly the Cinderella parts, do you just had the boobity bop, like, with this song just running into your head while you were sleeping?
Well, thank God no, because I did actually kind of binge this game for each of the characters' stories, so no.
Great.
Yup. Let's see.
Oh, you leveled up Sonic Shadow.
Yeah, Sonic Shadow. So leveling up Shadow Locks actually like increases the charge time, like how fast they charge when you lock onto them, and I think it also increases the hits. I'm not sure about that, but something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I do remember, like, it did, like, give me, like, more hits than before every time, like, I leveled this up.
Yep. And you also get more slots for your command menu as you progress through the story. It's kind of like the extra levels you got in Kingdom Hearts 2. If you remember those.
Yep.
And this is command melding. I don't know if I've explained it, but there's shit ton of recipes that you can...
I was about to say that. God damn it.
That you can use. You basically meld 2 commands, and you can also introduce a third ingredient from a certain pool of items that will add like passives to the command that you permanently get if you master the command. So like that's this game's way of introducing abilities like Leaf Brazier or combo boost or combo extensions and shit like that. But here's this world's boss, one of the more unique ones, I'd say.
Hey yo, and the music is back. I love this boss theme.
You could insert any like music track to this and be like, oh, Justin Bieber.
Oh god. all right. So I can listen to Justin Bieber. Shoutouts. That a reference to Microsoft's 2010 press conference, by the way.
Great.
Some dude awkwardly yelling at his Kinect to play music, and it brings up Justin Bieber.
I would love to see what happens when actual Disney guards try to take on like Heartless and shit.
They die.
They never do that.
They die horribly.
Yeah, they'll just die.
So this is one of the early gimmick bosses. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to destroy the instruments and stun him as a result. But because he has so like low HP, and because Terra hits so hard, I'm just gonna go ham on his ass.
Yep.
So this will be over pretty quickly.
Yo,
you can see.
Like I've never had problems with Kingdom Hearts music, but like, shouts this fucking music. Holy shit! Like this is good.
Someone pointed out, I think it was like on a like a random Kingdom Hearts video, but Yoko Shimomura actually like tries to do different themes for different monsters. Like Heartless have their own type of music, and Nobodies have their own type of music, and then Unversed as well.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Like distinctive themes, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Yeah, I do love the nice touch.
As you can see, I think Unversed are the only ones who get like this very techno music, very heavy on the beats type of music. Oh hey, Rob Paulson again.
Man, just seeing like that character in the 3D model just always fascinates me.
Seeing a lot of these Disney characters in 3D like kind of freak me out sometimes.
Yeah. But remember, this game was done on a budget.
Yeah.
Every time I see like footage of Kingdom Hearts 2, which came before this, yeah, you can tell that they had much more money for that game.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes, so it is.
Untextured faces.
No.
No.
Well, to be fair, at least with the first few worlds like this one, they at least like try to vary up the untextured faces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because in Kingdom Hearts 2, whenever a Disney character had like I always say untextured but textured face, they had like one animation, and that's it.
Right.
But in Birth by Sleep, they added like a few variations at least,
Aqua!
so it's not so jarring. But you know, it's still
Right.
untextured faces. God damn it, budget.
Yep, that PSP budget right there.
Shout outs to Aqua being like, oh, I gotta find Terra, and then now that he finds Terra, he just
No,
lets him go.
actually, just before I left, he tried to tell me something.
God, that was a bad read right there. I don't know how I felt about that line.
Yeah.
Yep, welcome to
We've
Terra.
already bashed on his voice acting, but he gets better occasionally.
Oh,
No,
that was the most like backhanded compliment you could have gave someone. Is that
I'm
sometimes
sorry,
he's better?
but it just destroys me when I know the actor can do well, but then you get scenes like these.
Yeah.
Even Aqua is very stilted in this one.
I mean, I suppose it's kind of true for all voice acting in general. Like,
Prince is in the ballroom.
and there's people who are going to be
He
like,
might have some
you can't criticize them. You can't do it any better. Fuck you. I'll criticize whatever I fucking want. Come at me. But
You still have the same
when it's
dream?
their job to voice act, I think it's fair to criticize. But like, it is always jarring when like a voice actor you know can do great work.
She made me
Just
realize how
sometimes they have a
powerful it is
role or
just to
two,
believe.
or just lines every so often that just bug the shit out of you, and you're like, oh, but why? What went wrong? Like,
Yeah.
If you see it,
This is,
give her my
again,
thanks.
one of the examples where they at least try and integrate the Disney and the main story. Where they, like Terra learned that if you just believe, you can sometimes make some dreams come true. Like, you know, keeping with the, like, Cinderella theme and still be, like, actually learning something.
yeah,
I mean, it is still a kid's game, even though
Right.
this, again, this was obviously aimed towards, like, teenagers, I think.
yeah. The
But
PSP was
still.
like meant to be like edgier than like not the
man,
kiddie-friendly DS. Like,
Don't get me started on the PSP.
especially the marketing. Does anyone else remember All I Want for Christmas is a PSP?
No.
Well, all I remember is someone like wanted a modded PSP.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
got a modded PSP. That shit rocks.
so there was a commercial that Sony published and made, and then they like immediately took it down. Was like a 2005 ad called "All I Want for Christmas is a PSP," and it's just a white guy in a warehouse wearing a Santa hat, rapping about how much he wants a PSP. And it got so much flack that they took it down like a week later, and he apologized because people couldn't handle his air quotes fresh beats. And I'll have to send the video to you if you want to show it off or whatever. But
Yeah.
Yep. Then again, like there's also that one weird commercial with those squirrels about nuts.
oh my god, please don't not the PSP squirrels, please.
So you guys might be wondering, what was that weird like black flash there when Aqua passed the ladies? Apparently Aqua has like a asshole detector.
Well,
Oh jeez, these ladies, oh my god.
so
Yep.
does she just detect people who are just bad then? Like that's just a thing
I
she
suppose.
has?
I'm trying to avoid saying darkness, but apparently like she senses if someone is like filled with hatred and shit.
Oh.
Yeah,
Great.
she's more like gonna be like, oh, this person's probably an asshole or a bitch.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because at this point Aqua is actually one of the Keyblade Masters. She's the only one of the trio that's actually a Keyblade Master. So you'd think that like that has some other value than
significance.
just a title, you know.
Right. So because she's a Keyblade Master, she has that?
Well, I mean, makes sense if Keyblade Masters, according to this game, are tasked with like keeping the balance with light and darkness. So it makes sense that they are able to, you know, at some level detect that. Because you know.
So I have a question.
What's up?
It's related to Aqua and like Keyblade Masters or whatever. So can there only be one master like at a time, or can there always be multiples at a time?
There can be multiple ones because Ericus is a master, Master Xehanort is a master, you know.
Okay.
Aqua is a master.
Yeah, it's like it's like, you know, what is like in Star Wars was where like any Padawan could be a Jedi.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I think what Birth by Sleep tries to do is introduce like senseis. Like Master is the sensei of Keyblade Keyblade wielders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I mean, it's pretty obvious with Ericus. Like, dude looks like a freaking samurai.
Yeah, like he is Japanese as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, literally, it's like Sweetway Sakaguchi, like it is like full summer armor.
Yeah.
And then I had another question. Since I know sure shit I'm never playing through this whole series, does Aqua die, or is she like not around in 2.8 or after 2.8?
I'd say we'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean,
I only ask because like I've not seen her in any of the 3 marketing. Well, honestly, I haven't seen any characters besides like Sora, Donald, and Goofy. So that's why
but they
I asked.
do. They've been hinting at Terra, Aqua, and Ventus in multiple Kingdom Hearts games for like Kingdom Hearts 3, like Kingdom Hearts 3D. There's multiple instances where they reference these 3.
Okay.
And you know, Sora needs to get them back because bad shit has happened to them, which we're gonna get into later.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I mean,
I just thought I'd ask.
yeah, but I can understand that because they did have to write this game with the sense that, okay, we have to make these 3 disappear so that Kingdom Hearts 1 can happen.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
Yeah, because this happens before Kingdom Hearts 1.
Prequels.
Yeah, I personally don't like prequels for exactly that reason.
I usually don't mind prequels if it were something like a Final Fantasy X prequel that was about like Orin, Jecht, and Braska, like where it's not like it was something that was already established and talked about previously.
You mean like an expansion instead of like a story that takes place before an individual story that takes place before the main game.
Because it's well known that like Kingdom Hearts 1 was made with only 1 in mind. It wasn't intended to have this massive series built around it, but because they kind of like wrote themselves into a hole, this prequel game has to be able to happen, but can also not interfere with this like very set in stone story that you already told. So
yeah, but that begs the question: they could have done a better job, like using this as a expansion instead. Oh, by the way, grinding break.
Oh boy.
Yep.
So, I was about to say, was the rest of this part grinding?
I left a message there. I made it long so that we notice, because sometimes we don't notice quick
That's
text
fair.
boxes. Yep. But yeah, I mean, they could have done a better job, like doing this as an expansion. But there's only so much you can do with Sora and Riku since they are little kids,
Right.
and you know, it's probably more to do with the fact that Kingdom Hearts 1 doesn't start in the middle of a story. It starts like it establishes so much at the beginning of the game that you can't have a prequel that expands upon that, because everything began with the first game, if that makes sense.
Then I'm honored. But why would you
Yeah.
advise me not to fight darkness with light?
But you know, they could have avoided at least like trying their best to connect this to the first game, if that makes sense. Like, I've already bitched about how much they, like, forcefully make references to the first and second game. Like, oh, see what we did here? You know, this references this and that in the first game. Like, kind of like Sora, Riku, Kairi, blah, blah, blah.
See, we are part of the story.
Yeah, they could have just let these guys stand on their own, but no.
Yeah,
Do that.
I've seen like plenty of like other like with games and movies that had that problem, especially with like episode Hero Star Wars, that they heavily referenced like the previous one,
Yeah.
just to satisfy people's nostalgia.
Yeah. Oh, shut up. I've been listening to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo for 15 minutes.
Bibbidi-bobbidi-boo.
Aqua just like puts her hands over her ears and starts screaming, and the fairy godmother's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "I've been listening to this for hours."
We need that dude from Fairly Odd Parents being like, fairies! As well. Fairies!
Bibbidi.
Fucking Butch Hartman. Fucking let me Butch Hartman.
Yeah.
I think he just left Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, he's basically he does like his own thing these days.
Oh god, it's the death face mouse.
The fucking
Face
mouse
of death.
The face of death.
Oh my god. Which I looked away for a second, and when I look back, I just see her say, "Let me help you," whooshing, and draws her keyblade. And I'm like, "Oh
Ease your
god,
pain.
oh god, she's gonna murder this demon mouse."
I was gonna say, Rob, was like, man, be careful when you blink.
Yeah, right.
I see. Then you must have
God
just
damn it.
missed her.
Again, I repeat, if these guys had cell phones, this wouldn't be a problem.
Shoutouts to that they have like Power Ranger armor, but they don't have phones.
But remember in the first part where Eragus was talking to the glowing thing on the wall? That was a fucking cell phone. Why can't we have that?
No, you know what you call that? That's a landline phone right there.
That's a
God
fucking
damn it.
landline. Is it corded?
Probably.
God damn it.
Where's
Oh my
the
god,
nearest-
does the mouse
where's
fight
the
with
nearest
us?
phone booth, goddammit.
Yeah,
Oh my-
we're escorting the mouse to the mouse hole.
Oh boy, I love escort missions in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, they're the best fucking thing, especially they're the best thing ever that I have to deal with in Proud Mode.
And this is another one where you're supposed to like just escort him through the monsters and not defeat them, but like he slows down if there's monsters around, so you're gonna defeat them anyway. What the fuck? What's the fucking point?
Right.
Yeah, the mouse is being like, oh, I'll just, watch you just beat the shit these guys and just slowly walk.
Very
You know-
slowly.
You know, Aqua, seeing as how strong and athletic you are, how about you carry the fucking key?
Yeah,
It'll just be
I
over by now.
Keyblade
was-
Master my ass.
was
Damn,
gonna say,
damn.
yeah, I was gonna say, she should at least carry that fucking
That
game.
brings up a good point, actually. Why do we need the fucking key for the door when we can use the keyblade?
Keyblade.
Take that, Nomura.
By the way, shout outs to this scene. This is one of the, sadly, one of the few scenes where Aqua gets some, like, comedic relief.
Oh, really?
She's actually pretty funny. I wish they did more of that.
Wait.
Woo! I love that.
Wait, earlier she was the same size as them. Why did she shrink?
It's when the furry godmother just like,
Look at those shit faces.
They're like, who the fuck are you?
Would it be all right if I tried on the glasses?
What?
Get it? Because she's a girl.
Oh.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say like, I remember like someone just like drew fan art of Aqua just like wearing those
Wait.
glass slippers.
The dude already knows that she's not the girl the prince is looking for. So why are you going around trying to glass slipper in the first place if you already know who the girl is?
Well, not well. Okay, hang on. he knows it's not her, but that doesn't mean he does know who it is.
Okay, great.
That makes sense.
That shut me up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it does. At least, whatever. Give me the shoe, bitch.
Yeah.
Aqua's,
Mine.
Aqua's motion capture is so on point. Like they even capture the small awkward like come on face, you know, that she
Right.
did earlier.
Yeah. But I
love
was
it.
gonna say like I remember like someone like drew like kind of Aqua just like wearing those like glass slippers.
Oh, she doesn't get
Nice.
to try them on. She doesn't take off her fucking
Metal
knight in
boots.
armor boots. Yeah, like what? What?
No.
Everything
She,
deserve.
she doesn't ever wear them.
Shit, these are not the kind of shoes that come off.
Thank you for teaching Tara and
She has Vaughn feet syndrome.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Shoutouts to FF12 where everyone has metal pants.
Yeah, not to mention very metal pants and big boots.
Do you know how fucking hot those would get, by the way? Metal pants.
Very hot. I mean, you just see like Vaughn walking through the desert in the first part of the game.
Oh god.
I got through that section. And
Yeah.
then I gave up when I got to the bunny girl place.
I thought you were gonna say, and then I gave up when I got beaten by that fucking dinosaur.
No, fuck that dinosaur too.
I was gonna say like wait like I thought like Robbie would just like stop and just stare at all the bunny girls.
I'm not that low, jeez.
Scholarly maid.
Man, just look at their noses.
going to let them leave?
That's really well rendered in
What-
3D.
God, those noses really bug the shit out of me now that you pointed them out.
Oh, okay. They probably had a toilet problem at their house. Like, oh no, the toilet's running backwards again.
Oh no.
What's that?
What the
What happened?
Wait, weren't you just inside?
He left. But shoutouts to obligatory. Oh, we're gonna end the world, so we need a boss fight thing.
Yep, insert boss right here.
Yep. Well, at least the boss fits like the world, because it's like a
Oh yeah,
devil
Oh, it's the
version
carriage.
of the carriage. Yeah. That
That's
throws
kinda neat.
bombs.
That's actually kind of neat. I like that idea.
No.
But I can't take this seriously that these three actually summoned it, and then they get blown away. They're blasting off again.
If you don't put that clip in there with their faces superimposed on Team Rocket, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
I might do that.
Or have the Sonic Advance 3, where every time you beat a boss, Eggman goes, "You're going to pay for this."
We don't need
Oh
more
my
Sonic
God.
memes in our commentaries.
No, boy,
Yeah.
but I was gonna say like, oh yeah, I forgot. Did it have like the same like block this shit like gimmick as well?
I don't know. I killed this guy so quickly that he never gets a chance.
Oh
I think
yeah.
it said
I-
Sonic-
Shout out to
I-
Thunderbolt, my favorite stance of the elemental stances, because it's cool.
Yeah. I was gonna say you already answered my question. Like you're about to like the speed run this guy.
Thunderbolt.
Shoutouts to that grinding session you had.
Nope.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get even faster later.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. Oh, my prince!
My
My
princess.
cardboard box! Woo!
Hey Rob, I mean Zach, man, can you just like what do you just like how does this my cardboard box for this part?
I hope you know that what I'm gonna do is get the fucking the image of Cinderella like holding up her hand, smiling at the prince, but I'm gonna put the Nintendo Labo logo on her face.
You were gonna go there.
God damn it!
fucker.
I saw that fucking coming. God damn you!
So, before this part ends, I want to talk about this scene.
But how?
I'm pretty sure
Not with light.
that in the Japanese version, the dialogue was slightly different. Where because the grandmother, the fairy, whatever, she says that you're too young to know. I'm pretty sure they were referring to like actual love in this scene, but
Yeah.
They were just talking about like the balance of light and darkness or whatever bullshit.
Yeah.
Balance of light, darkness. I don't know. Fucking Kingdom Hearts, whatever.